This might sound like a dumb question, but like, how do abilities work in Magic the Gathering? Like for example, let's say I have Restless Bivouac on the battlefield, and I activate its ability for it to become a creature. Then I use Agatha's Soul Cauldron to put a +1/+1 counter on the Bivouac and exile a card from the graveyard. And let's say it's a Grease Wrench Goblin. And since that Bivouac has a +1/+1 counter on it, it will have all abilities exiled with Agatha's Soul Cauldron. So I can go ahead and activate the Exhaust ability. That's all straightforward, that's all simple. But hang with me here. Let's say we pass the turn to our opponent's turn, and this is no longer a creature, therefore it lost the abilities that Cauldron would have granted it. But then we'll go ahead and animate Restless Bivouac on their turn, which will give it all activated abilities of exiled cards from Soul Cauldron, which will give it Grease Wrench Goblin's activated ability again. Now, is this a new instance of the ability, or is this the exact same instance of the previous ability that I activated, therefore I can't activate it again? Did it gain a new instance of Exhaust, or was this an old instance of Exhaust and was that already exhausted? Now, I feel like most people would say that since the Bivouac is gaining the ability again from the same source, we're gaining the same ability. Like the abilities kind of remain dormant on this Restless Bivouac, so it would be gaining the same ability and you wouldn't be able to exhaust it. But let me throw out a different example out there. Say we have Blade of Shared Souls and it's got a 2/2 Rebel equipped to it, and when we attach the blade to the Rebel, we had it copy something else. Again, we'll have it copy this Grease Wrench Goblin, and we'll go ahead and activate the Exhaust ability. Now we'll shift the equipment around so that we equip the Goblin and then move it back to the Rebel, have it copying the Goblin again. Will it be copying the exact same abilities it exhausted before, or would it copy a new fresh set of abilities? Because the copy is gaining the ability from the same source every time, so are we copying the exact same ability on here, therefore it's already been exhausted? Or is it a new copy effect and that refreshes the ability to a new ability? I don't know. Let's do one more example. Kind of similar to the last one, we'll have Exchange of Words swapping the text on the Rebel and the Grease Wrench Goblin. And we'll go ahead and use the Exhaust ability that it gained from the Grease Wrench Goblin. Then we'll go ahead and use Flicker of Fate to exile Exchange of Words, returning the text boxes of the Rebel and the Goblin back to its normal text box. And then when Flicker of Fate resolves and Exchange of Words comes back, we'll go ahead and swap those two text boxes once more. Now, is that going to be a fresh set of text that the Rebel gains, or is it going to be the exact same text that it gained from the Grease Wrench Goblin previously? Can this activate the Exhaust ability, or is it already exhausted because it used it before? You see, the comprehensive rules talks about how abilities kind of work in a game, or how they kind of function, but it doesn't really tell you what happens when you move an ability, which also kind of makes it unclear about copying effects too. And they even have something specifically for Exchange of Words, but I still find it very unclear because it replaces all of the rules text, but what does that mean exactly? Are we replacing the exact same text, or are we giving a new set of text? This one I don't really have any real answers to, and a lot of this stuff is in standard right now, and you could easily run into this interaction, so I'm curious to see if they're going to update this at some point. Like, it would be really nice to have a ruling that clarifies all of this about abilities being gained or lost or being suppressed or something like that.